The diagram below shows the net, figure 1, of the solid regular pyramid, figure 2, with a square base of side 6 centimeters and a slant height of 5 centimeters. And so here we have figure 1 and figure 2. And our goal is to calculate the total surface area of the pyramid. Now, in order for us to figure out the total surface area of the pyramid, we have to find the area of each shape. And then once we find the area of each shape, then we add up all the areas, and then that's going to give us the total surface area of this pyramid. And so we have to first figure out the area of the square. And area of a square is just length times width. And length times width is just going to be 6 centimeters times 6 centimeters, which is 36 centimeters squared. And so that's going to be the area of this square. Length times width, or 6 centimeters times 6 centimeters. Next, the area of the triangle. The area of the triangle. Okay, so the area of the triangle is going to be equal to base times height divided by 2. What is the base? The base is 6 centimeters. So that's 6 centimeters. What is the height? The height is 5 centimeters. So we have the base multiplied by the height. What's the base? The base is 6 centimeters. The height is 5 centimeters. So base times height. So 6 centimeters times 5 centimeters divided by 2. So base times height all over 2. The base is 6, the height is 5, and so it's going to be 30 centimeters squared, all divided by 2. And so we have 30 centimeters squared divided by 2, which gives us 15 centimeters squared. Next, we have to figure out the area, the total surface area of the pyramid. And the total surface area of the pyramid is going to be equal to the area of the square. And so this is the area of the square here. Plus the area of the 4 triangles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and so the area of the square is 36 centimeters squared, plus the area of the 4 triangles is going to be 4 times 15 centimeters squared, and 4 times 15 centimeters squared is definitely 60 centimeters squared. So we have 36 centimeters squared plus 60 centimeters squared, and when we add the 2, we get 96 centimeters squared. So the total surface area of the pyramid is 96 centimeters squared. Next, we need to figure out what is the vertical height h of the pyramid. So this is the vertical height right here, right? And if you notice carefully, we could use, if you notice carefully, this is a right angle triangle, right? Where h is one side of the triangle, and this length right here is another side, and 5 right here is the length of the hypotenuse. And so what we have to do is we have to label this. So we have that C, which is the hypotenuse, is equal to 5. All right, that's what C is. C is the hypotenuse, is equal to 5 centimeters. We have that A, which is A is equal to 3. And the reason why we know that A is equal to 3 is because this right here is 3 centimeters. Now, how do we know that this is 3 centimeters? Well, we know that this is 3 centimeters because we know that, let's look at it. We know that the entire thing is 6, right? So the whole thing is 6, but we just want half of it, and half of 6 is 6 divided by 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that means that the radius, that means that A, right? That means that A, which is only half of the entire thing, half of 6 is only equal to 3 centimeters. And so A is 3 centimeters, C is 5 centimeters, and H is the missing side. And so we have 5 squared is equal to 3 squared plus B squared. What is 5 squared? 5 squared is 5 times 5, which is 25. 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9, right? And so we have 25 is equal to 9 plus B squared. We're going to take this 9 and send it over the equal sign. And so we have 25 minus 9. And so 25 minus 9 is equal to B squared. And so what do we have? We have 25 minus 9. And 25 minus 9 is 16. So we have 16 is equal to b squared. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the square root of both sides, the square root of 16, the square root of b squared. We cancel out the square root with the square. And so we get that b is equal to the square root of 16. And so we have that b is equal to 4. And so b is equal to 4 right here. And so, so that means that h is equal h, which is the vertical height, right? Because that's what we're trying to figure out. H, which is the vertical height. And by the way, even though I use h, right? Here h is equal to b, all right? And so once we figure out what b is, right? Once we figure out what b is, that's exactly the value of h, because b is equal to h. And so that means that the vertical height, right, is 4 centimeters, because that's what h is, right? So we let c equal to 5, we let a is equal to 3, we let h equal to b. And once we figured out what b was, right, we found out that b is equal to 4. That means that h is equal to 4. And in fact, let me just put it there. H is equal to 4. So therefore h is equal to 4, right? And so therefore h is equal to 4. And so since we know that h is equal to 4, then we can say that the vertical height is 4 centimeters. And that's the answer to this question. Let's move on to the next one. We have to figure out the volume of the pyramid. And the volume of the pyramid is the following. It's a third b squared times h. Now, when we say b squared, we mean the base. So the base, right? So we're going to say a third b squared times h, okay? And so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to say a third b squared multiplied by h. Now, what is b? B is going to be this length. That's what b is, right? B is this length. That's the base, all right? What is the height? The height is h, right? And the height is always perpendicular to the base, okay? Like the height is always perpendicular to the base. It forms a right angle with the base. And so the height is always perpendicular to the base. So we have a right angle that's formed. And so the height, which is h, okay, that's the height. And the base is perpendicular to the height, which is going to be this b right at this side. All right, so the base is a side, all right? But we have to do the base squared, and we have to multiply it by h. And so that's what the volume of the square pyramid is. A third base squared times h. Now, in this case, what is the base? Well, the base is 6 centimeters. We have that right there. That's the base. And what is the height? We just figured out previously that the height is 4 centimeters. So we have the base squared, which is 6 squared. And then we have the height, which is 4, right? So the base is just this side, 6 centimeters. The height is 4, right? So the height is 4. And so we have a third 6 squared multiplied by 4. Now, what is 6 squared multiplied by 4? Well, 6 squared multiplied by 4 is 144. And so we have a third multiplied by 144. And a third multiplied by 144 is definitely 144 over 3. And 144 over 3 is 48 centimeters cube. And so that means that the volume of the pyramid is 48 centimeters cube. And that's the answer. Indeed, that's the answer to this question. Okay, that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.